Yes! Oh, I'm not in focus. Dude, oh my god. Yo, I am beyond excited for this. I need to catch this ASAP before it runs. I wanted this so bad. I literally just got to the park and this is like one of the first things I tap on. Of course I didn't have my camera on. What? Yo, shiny Growlithe, baby. It is so cool, that golden pupper. That's amazing. I'm so excited. Yo, I cannot wait to show my friends. Okay, we're gonna talk about evolutions today. So I actually recorded this video already, but because Mega Evolutions are coming, I wanted to record it again and then show a couple different examples. So, all right, we'll start to the video. Let's go. As we come down from the high of that shiny Growlithe, we are gonna go into today's topic, which is evolution. Now, evolution in Pokemon GO is really fun and really interesting. There are so many different ways to evolve Pokemon, so we're gonna break it down today, and I'm gonna show you some examples with some recent shinies that I caught in game for evolution. So, I mean, I guess we'll just jump right in. So if you remember in the main series games, right, the main way to evolve Pokemon was really just to level it up, right, to power it up to battle with it so it would get stronger, and then it would say, you know, like, huh, Squirtle is evolving? And then as the generations went on, there were more and more ways to do it, right? Some needed to hold an item, some used stones, right? Even in first gen, right, you needed stones to evolve some of the Pokemon. But as you got further on, you needed things like friendship and things like that. Anyway, so Pokemon GO has its own way of doing things. So we're gonna start first with candies. We're gonna talk about split evolutions, we're gonna talk about different items you need, and then different, of course, requirements for special evolutions as well. At the end, we're gonna speculate a little bit as to what Mega Evolution might look like in Pokemon GO, because we know that it's coming in 2020, though we don't know exactly when. So, let's jump into regular, plain old candy evolutions in Pokemon GO. So, here we have a Houndour. So if you saw in my catching and tracking Pokemon video, each time you catch a Pokemon you get 3 candies. Now if I give it a Pineapple Berry or a Silver Pineapple Berry, it's gonna give me 6 candies. If it's a second stage evolution, like if you catch Charmeleon or something, it'll give you 5 candies. If it's a third stage, like if you find a Charizard, it's gonna give you 10 candies, and again the Pineapple Berry will double that. See, as you can see there, I got 6, right? So now I have 1,308 Houndour candies. So as you can see right here with this Houndour, it's going to take 50 candies to evolve it. Okay, cool, so let's do it. Instead of just doing that Houndour though, I think I'm gonna do one of my shiny Houndours, because today I just got my second shiny Houndour. Okay, do you want to evolve Houndour? It's gonna cost me only 50 candies. Yeah. Oh, that's too cool, dude. That shiny blue doggo. It's freaking fierce, bro. Lots and lots of Pokemon simply take a different amount of candies. So let's go through some quick examples. So Rattata, it only takes 25 candies to evolve into Raticate. Clefairy takes 50 candies to get to Clefable. Caterpie only takes 12 candies to get to Metapod. Metapod takes 50 to get to Butterfree, right? So Magikarp takes 400 candies, which is really awesome, but it's worth it because Gyarados is freaking awesome. Sometimes it's not just that simple. Sometimes you need more than just candies to evolve your Pokemon. Sometimes you need items. Some Pokemon take items to evolve, right? So you need candies and a special item. So I have a Sunkern right here. Again, I'll Pineapple it to get some more candies, and then I'm gonna show you what item it takes to evolve. It just so happens that earlier I also got a shiny Sunkern, and that was again my second ever shiny Sunkern. So I am going to evolve that. This is called the Sunstone. It's one of the evolution items that first came out. So I just have to tap it to use it, and there it goes. Yes! Oh, that's actually really cool. So it's kind of a pale yellow Sunflora. Nice! Okay, that's cool. It's the same item. So anyway, that's how you use an evolution item. But you may be asking, okay, how do I get evolution items? Evolution items, you're gonna get them a couple of different ways. So I'd say the most guaranteed way to get evolution items is to spin a Pokestop 7 days in a row. Every 7th day, you are going to get a random evolution item. It's either gonna be a Sunstone, King's Rock, Metal Coat, Dragon Scale, Upgrade, once Generation 4 came out, they simplified it and gave a Sinnoh Stone, right? So anything pretty much that needed a stone in the Sinnoh region can evolve using a Sinnoh Stone. And then when Gen 5 came out, they gave us a Unova Stone. So it just keeps it a little bit simpler, but you can get these items in a couple different ways. One way to do it is to do like battles with other trainers or with the team leader, so you can do that. That'll potentially give you that as a reward. They often give you Sinnoh Stones or Unova Stones. In like special research cases, that's often a reward. So those are pretty cool, and they're still pretty rare to get, but those are not gonna come out of Pokestops. You can also get those first couple of evolution items just randomly at any Pokestop on any day. They have fairly low drop rates, but it's still possible. It does happen every now and then. If you're a Gen 1 fan, for example, you're not gonna find that every Pokemon in Gen 1 needs a stone as it used to. For instance, you know, Pikachu used to need a Thunderstone to evolve, but here in Pokemon Go, Pikachu just needs 50 candies. So it's not exact like that. It's just a little simpler here, which is kind of cool. So sometimes you don't just need candy or an item in order to evolve. Sometimes you need to do a little bit more than that. Sometimes you need to walk with your buddy and kind of get to know it a little bit better. You gotta spend time with it. It needs to be comfortable with you. Some Pokemon require you to have them as your buddy and walk with them in order to evolve. So let's look at this Happiny right here, right? So Happiny is gonna take 25 Happiny candy, or I should say Niantic candy, but it also takes 15 kilometers to evolve into Chansey. So you gotta make it your buddy and start walking. Eevee, what a great example. So this Eevee right here, I guess we'll just go into it then. Eevee's super cute. Eevee has a lot of evolutions. How do you know what you're gonna get? Is it a box of chocolates? Not necessarily. So Eevee's got 8 evolutions, and you might be thinking, well, how do I get all of those? There's a couple different ways to do it. So the first thing you're gonna notice when you tap on an Eevee is that when you evolve it, it's gonna take you 25 candies, but it's also got a question mark right there. If I just go ahead and tap that, it's gonna go into the first generation of either Vaporeon, Jolteon, or Flareon. And it's gonna be random, right? 1/3 chance of any of those. But if I want Espeon or Umbreon, and if I want Glaceon or Leafeon, I can absolutely make sure I get those. And here's how to do it. If I want Umbreon, I'm gonna make this Eevee my buddy, and I'm gonna walk 10 kilometers with it. So if I evolve an Eevee that I've walked 10 kilometers with at night, it's gonna become an Umbreon. If I want Espeon, again, I walk 10 kilometers with that Eevee, but I evolve it during the day, and it's gonna be an Espeon, every time. So now let's talk about Leafeon and Glaceon. There is a guaranteed way to make sure you get this. So, you're gonna need to do it via a lure. Now these are your lures. I've got a Glacial lure and a Mossy lure. So if I equipped the Mossy lure to this Pokestop and I evolve an Eevee within its range, it's gonna become a Leafeon every time. Instead, if I put a Glacial lure on this stop and I evolve an Eevee, it's gonna become a Glaceon every single time. So if you have a shiny one that you want to be shiny Glaceon or shiny Leafeon, there's a good guaranteed way to do it. So let's put on this Mossy lure. So as you can see now, this question mark, no matter which Eevee I evolve, it knows it's gonna be a Leafeon because I'm in range of that Mossy lure. Let's do this one with the Flower Crown. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Awesome. I actually haven't done this. Oh yeah, that was super cool. All right, so you might be wondering, well, I've evolved so many Eevee and they've all come out Flareon, but I've been dying for a Vaporeon. What can I do? There's only really one thing you can do, and you can only do it once, and that's called the nickname trick. The nickname trick is a cool kind of Easter egg. When you take an Eevee and you name it after the trainer that had that type of evolution in the anime, it will evolve into that evolution. Let me explain that better. In the anime, there was a trainer named Pyro who had a Flareon. Sparky had a Jolteon, Rainer had a Vaporeon. If you take an Eevee and you name it Pyro in Pokemon Go, and then you evolve it, it's gonna be a Flareon. If you name it Sparky, it's gonna be Jolteon. If you name it Rainer, it's gonna be a Vaporeon. That's awesome, but this trick only works once for each name. So I can't name all my Eevees Pyro, only the first one is gonna be Flareon. And it only works once. So once you do it per name, you can't do it anymore. So the last form of Eevee that is yet to be introduced, it is a Gen 6 form. It is Sylveon. Sylveon is super cool, I really like it. In the main series, I think it cost, like, it had to have like high friendship level with you, and it also had to know a fairy move, the Eevee. So I'm curious as to see how they introduce that. I think it'll probably be the same. You probably have to do the walking requirements, or now that we have the buddy system, you'll have to be a certain level of buddy And then you'll probably have to make sure that Eevee knows a fairy type move. So by using like a TM on it or something, I think that would make a lot of sense. All right, so Eevee is not the only one that is impacted by different types of lures. As you can see in the shop, we have not only the glacial and the mossy lure, but we also have a magnetic lure. This magnetic lure is going to allow other Pokemon to evolve. For example, Magneton will evolve into Magnezone. So as you can see, I've got a Magneton here, and it doesn't even show me it can evolve, which is like, I don't know, I think it's super cool. It's like a little hidden thing. But if I had a magnetic lure here, it would show me that it can then evolve into this, a Magnezone. Oh yeah, okay, of course. So in talking about Eevee with, of course, the first 3 random evolutions, right? So Vaporeon, Glaceon, no, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, Flareon, and Vaporeon, right? Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. That's a split evolution, and it's random. It's not the only Pokemon that has a split evolution. Well, let's go to Tyrogue. Tyrogue here has a trick, and it does show you this is gonna be a Hitmontop, and the reason why is because its HP is higher than its attack and defense. If its attack were higher, it would go into a Hitmonlee, and if its defense were higher, it would go into a Hitmonchan. There are still ones that are gonna be completely random. So let's go to Wurmple. It's either gonna be a Silcoon or a Cascoon. There's no way to tell, there's no way to impact it, there's no nickname trick. That's the name of the game, you know? It's just how it works. You gotta just take the risk if you want it. Going again back to the first generation of the game, if you remember, you had to trade certain Pokemon in order for it to evolve. For example, Haunter and Grappler and a few others. When they would be received by the other person, they would evolve automatically. Until very recently, that wasn't part of Pokemon Go. So Graveler right here, as you can see, has a symbol or 100 candies. So if I do this, it's gonna say, do you wanna evolve Graveler? Graveler received through trades doesn't require any candy to evolve. So what this means is if my friend and I trade Graveler, if I receive Graveler in a trade, it doesn't cost me any candies to evolve, which is a really cool bonus. It doesn't have to be that way though. As you can see, I can still pay 100 candies to evolve this Graveler if I want to. One very important thing to remember is that when you trade something, you cannot trade it back. You cannot trade it back by any means. All right, let's talk about Mega Evolutions. Earlier this week, Pokemon Go announced that Mega Evolutions are coming to Pokemon Go in 2020. Mega Evolutions were announced in Gen 6, and what they are a temporary evolution where you need to use what's called a keystone for your Pokemon to be able to temporarily evolve in battle. It would make it stronger, it would change its form, which is super cool. And then at the end of the battle, whether it won or it was knocked out, it would transform back into its final stage evolution, wherever it was, and you could do it again in the next battle. I'm curious to see how they're going to do it in Pokemon Go. Not every Pokemon can Mega Evolve, but for example, like Charizard, Mewtwo, Blastoise, a lot of those can Mega Evolve, which is super cool. The shiny version of Mega Evolve Pokemon is different from the usual shiny version of that Pokemon, so that's also super fun. I kind of think Pokemon Go is going to do it one of 2 or 3 ways. So one, they're either just going to have a Mega Evolve Pokemon as its form and final permanent form, which would be fine. So like if I have a Gengar that I evolve into a Mega Gengar, it's just going to be there in my inventory as a Mega Evolution of Gengar. It gives you more reason to keep collecting, and I'm a collector, so I love that. Either that, or what would be kind of cool and a new mechanic is if you're about to enter a battle, you can choose a Pokemon and Mega Evolve it. It's then going to be in your battle party and be Mega Evolved for the whole battle. And then by the end of the battle, if you see it, it's just going to be back to its normal self. That would be an interesting mechanic. I would also assume if you did it that way, it's going to cost you more candies and Stardust every time you do it. So that would give you a reason to, again, keep grinding, keep getting those candies and having a use for them. So you don't just keep stockpiling thousands of candies for different Pokemon, which I've definitely done. I don't know how else they would do it, but hey, I'm excited either way. Oh, but I need to clarify something. I said you need a keystone, but you need a Megastone to Mega Evolve your Pokemon for Gen 6. But let me know in the comments, what's your favorite evolved form of a Pokemon? And how do you think they're gonna roll out Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Go? I'm super curious and I can't wait. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm Lightscreen, and I will see you later. Bro! What? Okay. Oh my god, oh dude, yes! Okay, so I'm like I'm in a parking lot and I see this cluster that I usually see. There are 2 Teddiursa on either side of the Meowth. And I'm like, I tap on the Teddiursa like 4 times. And I'm like, all right, I was about to just say forget it and drive away. But then I was like, no, let me try one more time. And dude, I tap on it and it's freaking shiny. Yes, that looks so much cooler than I thought. Yes. Oh. You honestly have to be kidding me. And I see this spawn and I'm like, I feel like this Pokemon has a pretty high shiny rate, and boom, baby! Dude, again, shiny Alolan Geodude. Holy Christmas! I looked at it and I was just like, part of me was like, of course it's shiny, and part of me was like, what the hell? That's 5 shinies in one day! I don't even know what to say. I'm just so grateful. I feel so lucky. Thank you. All right, bye now for real. Later. That's amazing. I'm so excited.